Hey, this is Robin Johnson from Best from the Nest, and I wanted to make a real quick video because it's something that I've heard multiple people say. I was just doing another Pay It Forward call that I had from Scanner Monkey, which thanks Jay and Cordelia for getting that set up so that we could have that awesome experience. And in the course of the last couple of days, I've had this same conversation come up like 3 or 4 times. So I want to make sure that everybody in the community has the tools that we need in order to make sure that we're getting the most money out of our business. Because if you want to give yourself a raise as an entrepreneur, the best way to do that is to become more efficient and to become more lean. That's what's really going to lead to that increase in profitability. So I was just talking to somebody who's they were selling quite a big volume, well into six figures. The amount that they got as a profit from their business from last year did not reflect that six-figure business. And so we started to look at really what causes that. So when your profits aren't where you want to be, there's a lot of things that you can do, but in general, it really all boils down to two things. We want to reduce expenses and we want to increase revenue, but we want to make sure that revenue that we're increasing at is profitable. So this is a calculator that I created to help people goal set, but I found that it also helps in this area as well, as far as trying to identify what's really going on in your business and why you're not taking home the paycheck that you thought you would. So let's pretend that by the time you add up Inventory Lab and OA X-ray and the 5 lists that you're on and the 3 services and then the coaching and then you're part of my academy and you add up your cost of your boxes and your tape, that's kind of what you call your burn rate or your operating expenses. Now, understanding how much your business costs you in order to run every month, in order to stay alive, is going to be vital for you to make sure that at the end of the year you actually make money. So, we want to know first thing, most important thing, identify your burn rate, identify how much your operating expenses are. So, if you add up all your tools, all your supplies, your Dymo labels, things that you're going to be replenishing on a monthly basis or maybe, quarterly basis, we want to know how much all of those things are. So some of those things that in my business, because I have a warehouse, we have the payment for the building, we have workers' compensation insurance, we have we have a Grand Canyon Security as our security firm. We have payroll. We have a lot of things that are part of our burn rate. But even if you're smaller, you want to know what your burn rate is. I've talked to people who are just starting out and their burn rate is $40 because the only thing that they're spending money on is the monthly fee for Amazon. But, pretty much everybody has at least a $40 burn rate. Now, let's pretend that when you added everything up, you had $2,500 a month that you were spending on all of those things, on tapes, on lists, on OA X-ray, on Facebook groups, on all of the tools, all of the supplies. We add all of that up and that's what we get. So in order to just keep your business alive, if you're doing sourcing at a 40% rate, ROI, which this person was, then she needs to spend over $6,000 a month in order to just break even. At 40% at with a $2,500 burn rate, then this is how much she needs to spend on goods in order to just break even. So it looks like her gross sales are really great at $13,000 a month, but what she's actually taking home, because even though it says, profit goal, that, part of that's when we take this calculator only really accounts for an oversimplification of, the third Amazon fees, then we're seeing that, just to keep her business alive, we have to spend that much. So she has a couple options. She could lower her burn rate or lower her operating expenses. So what she could do is she could say, I'm going to cut every tool. And I'm saying that even if you're a member of any of my programs, if if something is not yielding you a result, if you're not getting if it's not helping you generate revenue in your business, then one of the things you might want to do is, do we need to cut that expense? So I know that's not going to be super popular, but that might be something that you need to do. And so if a list is getting you good results and you're using it and it's yielding you lots of profit, do not cut that list if that list is working for you. If you're in a community like Scanner Monkey and the information that's being fed to you is helping you become a better seller and you can see how that's generating your ROI, which I can totally see, then keep that community. However, if you have a tool They could be a really excellent tool, but you're not using it and it's not generating income, cut it. So let's say she cuts that and she takes her $2,500 burn rate down to $1,500 a month. So she cuts $1,000 a month in expenses. But let's say she says, but it's just not acceptable anymore for me to not be pulling a paycheck from my business because my business is here to serve me. I shouldn't be working this hard just to keep my business alive. So we're going to add $1,500 plus $500 a month for her to pay herself. So then we're going to change this to 2,000. So at 40% ROI, she needs to spend $5,000. So she needs to be spending that much per month. So you divide that by 4 and figure out how much she needs to spend per week in order to be able to pay herself that amount. Now she might say, that's just really a lot of work for $500 a month. That's just not worth it for me. Then you might say, okay, so what else can we do? We cut our expenses. Let's pretend that she can't go any further down. She has commitments. She can't, she doesn't feel like she's ready to cut any further below that. The only other option that we have is to increase the return on investment or to start spending more, right? So she could start spending more, but if let's most people have a limited amount of capital. So let's say she knows I need to get more bang for that sourcing dollar, then she's going to need to look at raising her ROI. So maybe over the course of the next 2 months or 3 months or 6 months before Q4, she's looking to raise her ROI to 80%. So now instead of having to source over $1,000 a week, now she only has to source about $600 a week, right? Give or take. I know that analytical people believe this is not exact. This is not an exact science. Please do not base your livelihood off this. This is to give you an example, what to look for in your business. So, as you're looking at this, she does that. Now she's able to pay herself $500 a month and she's spending significantly less than she was at the 40% and 2,500 because you remember it was 6,000 before. So and that was mean she wasn't getting any money back. She wasn't actually making money. That was just keeping her alive. This she's profiting $500 a month. Now she should set some of that money aside for taxes, of course, but now she's spending less per month on her cost of goods and she's actually bringing home more profit. So there's a way to actually spend less and make more. So I just wanted to make this as a really quick video, so you can kind of see. If you want to learn about this calculator, you can go to bestfromthenest/calc, CALC, and you can use this calculator for yourself. I have a little video here. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at excellence@bestfromthenest.com.